Here.
Ms. Klein?
Here.
Thank you.
Ms. Enlow?
Here.
Ms. Huffman?
Here.
Mr. Newton?
I'm here.
Thank you. Okay, next approval of the minutes of August 9th, 2021, regular meeting minutes. Anything more?
Motion.
Motion McKinney.
Motion.
Second, Lisa. Okay, all in favor? Three over there, three over there, all hands are up. Okay. Continue, you got another special meeting minutes. That was August the 10th, 2021. Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Okay, Stacy,
Second.
and second. Yes. Okay, all in favor? Three to the left, three to the right. Okay. Looks like we got another one on here. Approval of the minutes, and this is the 8/17/2021 special meeting minutes. Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Okay, first was Lisa.
Second.
Second, Kenny. Got that? Okay, all in favor? Three over here, three over there. Okay, carries 6-0. All right, next on the agenda, page 1, you got City Attorney Tammy Baker to my left. We're gonna have first reading of ordinance 021030.
Summary of ordinance number 021-030, an ordinance amending ordinance 019-283 and adopting a personnel and pay rate classification plan for city employees and non-elected city officers for the city of Shepherdsville, Bullock County, Kentucky. In summary, Section 1 sets forth that Section 41 is amended to reflect that each individual sewer employee holding a Class 3 treatment license shall receive an additional $2 per hour separate and distinct from all other raises. Section 2 sets forth that Section 43 is amended to reflect that vacation time shall accrue to an employee as of January 1 of each year, and annual raises shall go in effect on January 1, calculated on base salaries, and shall be renewed and updated annually. Section 3 sets forth the severability clause. Section 4 sets forth the publication requirement. Section 5 sets forth the repealer clause. And Mayor, I read that one by summary because when we amend an ordinance, we have to set out the section in full that we're amending, and so those sections are quite long.
Okay.
So is it ordinance 021030 or 031?
Is it a typo on the
It's
ordinance
zero.
itself? Yeah. And then, Mayor, before we
Yes.
move on to the next ordinance, I somehow don't have that ordinance in my stack. Tammy, do you have a spare, the distilled spirits? Okay, awesome.
Is this the
You don't have it?
021029?
Do you,
I'll probably have it out in my truck.
Mayor, do you want me to step out and make copies of it? Or do you want a copy before I read it?
Which one is that? Is that?
It's the distilled
the
spirits,
for
second
the
reading.
Times?
Yeah.
Second reading? Yeah, you want copies? Yeah, well, Tammy, you want to?
Oh, okay. I need one
Yeah,
too.
yeah, we'll just make it, you need one too, Mike? Okay. Yeah, just a short break, you gonna make copies.
No, I got it, it's just out in my truck. Ready for you. This will be moving on to old business, second reading.
a special, or we can do a special and make it 5%.
Doesn't matter.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ordinance number 021-029, an ordinance amending ordinance 014-151 and establishing times that distilled spirits, wine, and malt beverages may be sold within the municipal boundaries of the city of Shepherdsville. Whereas the City Council of the City of Shepherdsville pursuant to KRS 244.290 has determined it to be in the best interest of the health, safety, and welfare of its citizens to establish the hours during which distilled spirits, wine, and malt beverages may be sold within the municipal boundaries of the City of Shepherdsville. Now therefore be it ordained by the City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky. Section 1, distilled spirits, wine, and malt beverages may be sold by the package and by the drink during the hours of 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. Monday through Saturday by authorized license holders. Section 2, distilled spirits, wine, and malt beverages may be sold by the package and by the drink during the hours of 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. on Sundays by authorized license holders. Section 3, this ordinance shall take effect upon publication. Section 4, should any section, clause, line, paragraph, or part of this ordinance be held unconstitutional or invalid for any reason, the same shall not affect the remainder of this ordinance. Section 5, parts of any ordinances in conflict with this ordinance or any part of this ordinance are hereby repealed. Given first reading at a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky, on the 9th day of August, 2021. Given second reading at a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, Kentucky, on the 23rd day of August, 2021.
All right. Thank you. Now there's action right on this,
Yes.
second reading. Okay. Okay, those who are voting for this amendment, signal hand raise or aye.
You have to have a motion.
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what was I?
I was gonna say, we gotta make a motion.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Motion. Okay, Lisa was first.
Okay.
Then we'll need a second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Second for Stacy. Okay, is there any discussion? Okay, okay, now I'll call for the vote. Those for the ordinance of amendment, signal by raised hand. So let me see, so Lisa, Kenny, right? Lisa and Kenny and Stacy and Mike are for, okay. And those against? Okay, Bonnie and Deb, okay. Looks like it passed 4-2, okay.
And Mayor, this
Yeah.
gentleman in the front row did have some questions about just some specifics with the ordinance. Henry, do you know when it would be published? Probably next Monday or next Wednesday? We're probably out of time to get it in.
There tomorrow. I'll try to get it in Monday. At the very latest, it'll be next Wednesday.
And it
But I'll
won't-
try, if I can get it there tomorrow, it'll be Monday.
And I had told him it won't take effect until published, so you
Right.
have to check the timing of when it's published.
So if you're looking for primary news Monday or Wednesday, that's.
I can't get it in Wednesday, I know, but I can get it in Monday.
That's fine. The other question I had was, now this actually replaces the physical Sunday license I already have now. Or do I need to come down?
Your license you have now would be good, we're just changing the hours for that license, right? That's what I'm.
Right, and that's what I had told him too.
Yeah.
I've got one that says, the ordinance as it is on Sundays.
Right.
But it's specific to the restaurant industry settings. And then I have the second one that states on it until close at midnight. And a state ABC officer would come in the last day of this order and see that.
Yeah.
Still technically in violation at that time. I can prove it wrong, but instead of doing that, it's something we can just mail these out to the current holders, or if I need to come in here once it's published, we get a new copy.
Yeah, and
I would
I
come and
would,
get the new
Right.
copy.
that's what I would think
Yeah.
too. And
You
it would
wouldn't have to
be no
repay,
cost,
just, no
because you've already
cost,
paid
yeah.
for your Sunday license, but
Yeah.
you will need the updated ordinance number and the updated
Yeah,
hours,
just
but it
bring
won't
the one
be
that you have
charged.
now and she can change
trade
it
it out.
as you wait.
I just wanna, we need to.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah, of
wanna be,
course.
them come in and not know that it's been changed,
Yeah.
yeah.
I told them I had a small little thing for the health department, don't want one thing, ABC's.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
Just something a little bit different through COVID on the tip. And I just had to open it up a little bit more, but, you've got, let me have a few just to open it up.
Right. Okay, yeah, just bring that in here to the desk here, and we'll update it for you, and what you need for you. You're welcome. All right, next we got the sign-in speakers. Mr. Perry Cook, go over there, if you touch, remember to touch the mic, it turns green, and then we'll be able to hear you. Thank you, Pastor.
there we go.
Yeah,
How you
just
doing?
give your name and your address.
I'm Perry Cook, Executive Director of Mark 12 Ministries. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the council and ladies and gentlemen of Shepherdsville. If I could, I have proposals that I'd like to pass out. I just want to kind of give you an update of the state of the homelessness and in need in our community, but also to offer up some assistance. So recently, all the cities in the county received the American Rescue Plan Act monies for 2021. It's a two payments. You get one payment this year, one payment next year. The city of Shepherdsville received, I believe it was $3.2 million, or will receive $3.2 million. Mount Washington, 3.7. Hillview, 2.2 million. Lebanon Junction is getting, I think, $500,000, $750,000 to Pioneer Village, and Fox Chase is getting $300,000. I've been fortunate enough with Joanna from Housing First and with Metro United Way. We've been invited to piggyback on the calls with Metro Louisville and the Homeless Coalition. They've been talking about this for quite some time. The restrictions and what those monies can be used for, how those monies have to be accounted for, and so on. And so what we do at Mark 12 lands right in the middle or the intersection of a lot of those things that money is set aside to help with. First is homelessness prevention, COVID and corona prevention, because we still have no facilities or anywhere for a homeless person to quarantine if they are diagnosed with corona. Also, our county, as far as homeless community, has one of the lower percentage of vaccinated peoples. And a big part of that is because the community is so fluid. There's really not a place where our homeless gather and come together. And so our organization has been looking at a location, actually 2 locations, and we're asking all the cities in the county to come together and lock arms using part of this American Rescue Act money to help purchase a facility for Mark 12. It's outlined in that. We want to call it the Bethany Resource Center. This resource center will act as, first and foremost, a resource center to help those who are impoverished to get skills in partnership with Kentuckiana Works and also Jefferson Technical and Community College. We'll also have mentoring. We're also going to have addiction groups. We're not going to be doing addiction counseling, but we're going to have groups there that meet, like NA, AA, and etc. This will also serve as a temporary sheltering location. Many of you guys may be familiar with Room at the Inn. We are entering into a very robust partnership with them in Mark 12, and our hope is they've really got the transition piece as far as helping people get employed and getting them there, but what they lack is going from church to church or to a city facility. They don't have stability. It's very tough for them to gain that kind of stability, to get back on their feet. In this center, they would be able to do that. And so our hope is that this will bring a very robust program to our county where all the cities can link together, partner together, and then allow us who are serving those communities a easier way to help. I've been in talks with Jeannie down at the Turnaround Center. Joanne is here. She's going to share some this evening. Also with Volunteers of America. We've been able to place 10 families so far in the last 2 months from Bullitt County into housing. The unfortunate thing is 2 of those families we had to house outside of our county. because there's no affordable housing. Also, right now, I'm working with a family that the 2 kids that go to Bullitt North are staying in Louisville at the Safe Place. The reason being is mom's in a car and the kids don't have a safe place to stay. And the mom is sacrificing to have them be in a shelter, but is driving back and forth to get them to school every day. That's the net that we are missing as a county right now. We have a couple families that have already been approved for the Volunteers of America rehousing program, but there's nowhere for them to stay as they wait for housing to become available. This would be what this center would be able to provide as well, as a safe place for them to lodge until their housing became available. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. We're continuing to work with many families in our community that are struggling. And unfortunately, the eviction moratorium is going to end at some point. And there's not a check that the President Biden can write that's going to be large enough to cover the amount of expenses that people have incurred. Now, I realize a lot of it they do own. But unfortunately, I think generationally, there is a missing link. And what that missing link is families have come up in Bullitt County unprepared for what Bullitt County has become. It's not that long ago that this was an agricultural county. I mean, I remember passing through Shepherdsville when pretty much from I guess it was the least famous recipe there at the exit, but between that and the actual train tracks, there was nothing but fields, right? Well, swamps. We're not that far removed from it. And so there needs to be education for those people that are still thinking that this is kind of I can make it on $15 an hour, because $15 an hour doesn't pay for a $200,000 house. And that's kind of where our housing market is quickly going to. And also, and I was just talking earlier to someone about, we also have an education we need to do for our baby boomers. And that education is, if you didn't put away for a 401k or a pension, when one or the other spouse dies, you no longer get 2 Social Security checks. You get 1 Social Security check, but the bills don't change. And so there's been counseling that we've been doing with widows that has become a problem, and now they're having trouble with their bills because, yeah, they're getting their husband's Social Security check, but they've gone from $1,800 a month to maybe $980 a month. So what does that look like? And without family or without kids to come alongside them or create that safety net, they really lean on the community. And so that's another program that we're continuing to work on, that we're hoping to roll out before winter when the White Flag Shelter comes. So any questions?
Has any of the other cities committed to any of their funds from the CARES Act?
No one has committed funds yet. So I've been on a circuit going to ask everyone. What I'm hoping is I would like to, we haven't set it up yet, but Erica Price from Metro United Way and I are going to be hosting a conference call where we would like to get all the city councils and mayors on the call with Judge Summers to kind of talk through what that looks like. What would it be a fair and equitable amount for every city to kind of come together with? And again, I'm not relying on monies from the government for operating expenses and the entire expenditure of the facility. We're fortunate enough that we are supported by individuals and churches and private organizations, but I think it would really symbolize a great partnership in our county if the cities all kind of came together, put the stake in the ground and said, hey, we're going to work together to really combat an issue that we have throughout the entire county.
So you all do have a location?
We have a location in mind, yes.
Is it within the city of
It is
Shepherdsville?
within the city of Shepherdsville. And so what our hope is, and I'm actually having a conversation with Chris, I think it's Lutz from Park on Wednesday, in reopening a TARC line to Shepherdsville. as an extension of their Okolona line. And what that will do is open a vein back to the city for individuals who need to get like social security cards and get to city and federal offices like the IRS. We found this past year with the homelessness, a lot of them didn't get their stimulus checks because they had no address, and those checks could have been the boost in the arm to get people out of their cars and into reliable housing. And so we're talking on Wednesday about that. We feel that Shepherdsville, my board, feels that Shepherdsville is really the optimum place, being the county seat, also being close to so much industry right here on the highway, that being able to job train, get people to jobs, transportation to and from jobs, and then helping transportation from LJ to the different factories as well. We're going to partner with Jenny at Turnaround to help get some of the unemployment in LJ solved, because again, transportation in our county is a huge element. And so with the vans that we'll be getting through a grant, one of those vans we're actually giving to the Turnaround Center to help them with that, and then we'll be using the other 3 vans for transportation in and around Shepherdsville. And then our hope is to set up annex offices in every major city. And so there would be an office in Mount Washington, one in Hillview, one in LJ, and one in Pioneer Village.
You spoke of the TARC.
Yes.
Did the city of Shepherdsville prior have to pay TARC to come to Shepherdsville? Did they pay them a yearly fee
Not that I'm aware
in the
of.
past?
The
They
county
did?
did.
The county did?
The county paid it.
Okay.
Yeah. So the county paid the initial fee. They had a set agreement. I do not know what that agreement is. That's, again, just in a brief conversation I had with Judge Summers. But it wasn't the county not paying that ended TARC's. TARC just cut this line as a cost-cutting situation, that they just wanted to stop servicing Bullitt County. And that has been problematic on both ends. And there are people that live in the south end of Louisville that could help man our factories. And there's also jobs in the south end of Louisville that people from Shepherdsville could take advantage of if they had transportation.
Did you say that you had talked to the judge executive?
Judge Summers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are they willing to give anything? Well, I guess we could just put Dennis in the hot seat
Yeah.
here.
I would believe that it was discussed and everything, but there was nothing discussed about the court and everything.
Well, I think we brought this up when you were here the last time, that if we give to you or give to that organization, we have to give to everybody, so therefore, we can't.
Well, what I'm asking is, again, not for Shepherdsville's money. The ARC money, which is the American Rescue Act plan money, those monies are specifically for these type of things. So what I'm asking is, one, when you guys decide on what the grant writing, because actually, is it next month the grants start? Grant writing or proposals? So next month, the request for proposal begins nationwide. And so I'm asking, as a city, if you've not decided what that process looks like, I'm offering my assistance to help with that process because I'm learning it from Louisville, and I'm asking to be able to write a grant towards that. Again, this is a one-time grant facility monies that I'm asking for. I'm not asking for operational costs. I'm not asking for any type of ongoing support from the city. All I'm asking for is a partnership with you, a kind of a support from the standpoint of you supporting the work in which we're trying to undertake. And that's not just Mark 12, that's Housing First, that's Turnaround Center, that's Volunteers of America. We're actually in the facility, we're hoping to give an office to Volunteers of America. We're also hoping to open an office for Red Cross because Red Cross is no longer in Bullitt County because they lost their building. So we're hoping to bring them back into Bullitt County and give them a space where they can train. Again, the hope and desire for this facility is to be a benefit to our community as an asset. We want to help people become productive citizens, to get back on their feet and contribute. And for those who don't want to, we're the entry point to get them to where they're more suited and be better served, if that makes sense. So it's very similar to, I don't know if you guys have been watching, but Louisville Metro government just purchased the building downtown that they're going to have. Now, this is not what I want to do, but they just, with this CARES money, or not, it's not CARES, it's actually rescue plan, so it's two different monies. But they purchased that building to set aside a large community center for homelessness. And so that's, again, just what I'm asking is to tap into that money once you guys have come to the decision on what that grant writing process looks like. And that's why I also brought just a brief proposal of what we're doing, what we've done with the community so far. We've ministered to over 200 homeless in our community. Currently, right now, we're working with 6 families that are homeless, looking for a place, and we're working with 3 juveniles. And again, we kind of are the net where Housing First doesn't serve that particular population and Turnaround doesn't serve a particular population. We're kind of the organization that is picking up all the rest, if that makes sense.
We're still kind of waiting on the regulations of what we can spend the money on. We haven't even gotten that yet, so.
Tony,
We
Should've
just
got
basically,
it
it's
in your email.
been put in restricted account, and we really don't know what we're doing with it yet, because we haven't had the guidance.
Okay.
Mayor, can I say something, Mayor?
Yeah.
I attended the very first meeting that they had on this ARP money.
Yeah.
And the Department of Local Government was there, the auditor was there, the attorney was there, and all of the 6 people on the panel there. The number one thing that they cautioned on, anything that you want to spend this money on, check with the auditor first. Don't spend one dime, because if you spend any money whatsoever, and you do not get their approval, or it's not permitted, you have to pay it back.
Yeah,
So they
Absolutely.
really stressed that with everybody that's on that panel.
they gave a general guideline, I've got that, you also got that from, email from Kentucky League of City. If you don't have it, I'll forward this one to everybody.
And-
And it goes through all the permitted uses and not,
I think Tanya sit in on a webinar on that today too.
is she, yeah, there's supposed to be
Yeah,
some
she said
classes
that
up.
today.
But you're right, we need to, I realize that there's certain things we can spend on, it doesn't exactly say anything about your organization, type of organization. There also, we have rules we follow with Kentucky League of City of how we can spend money by donating it to something else. And if we do, then we have to actually be a part of the program, we have to join the program, we have to oversee the money we put into it. And then again, it's right, then we have all the other organizations are gonna come and say, we want ours too. So far, we've turned everybody away. I'm not saying that we're against you, we're just that we have rules we have to follow.
And the money has to be spent for the benefit of the residents of
citizens,
Shepherdsville.
right.
And not to say that that's not your organization, because it
Right.
sounds like that's exactly what you're trying to do. But,
Right.
you know, turning city money or federal money over to another entity, it's tough because then we don't have the control or the
So we have to
oversight
make sure
and-
what the federal government's gonna match up with the
And if
city
your,
and state
if your
government is
board
gonna allow us.
dissolves, what happens to the building that this money went into, and there's just a lot of questions that I
Right.
think the council would have to look into.
Right. And I understand the
Yeah.
legalese. I mean, that's, again, I've been blessed. I've been on the conference calls with Metro Louisville for a while now. And so I've been following it. They're actually setting up, the Homeless Coalition is going to manage a large part of that monies.
I think homelessness is one of the I mean, that's one of the
It
things.
is, yeah, homelessness, and also what we would fall under is the COVID prevention and because, I mean, the bottom line is, we're getting ready to go into winter again. We've got other variants popping up, If we do not have a white flag shelter, where does the homeless person go to stay warm? They go to Kroger's. They go to Walmart. They go to the library. We got this beautiful new library. If we want to have it filled with homeless people, then let's not have a resource center. I mean, I'm not trying to say that to in jest, but I'm just saying that's where homeless people go when there's not a place to go. What we're trying to do is have a place to go where we will be working with them and we will be helping them kind of navigate what the situation is that has gotten them in that place to help better them. And for those, again, who want to just stay in that place, we're going to help get them to Louisville where those type of resources are available, because those type of resources aren't available here. And that's, again, why Mark 12 is trying to consolidate all the resources and partnering with churches, because it's not going to be the situation where someone can just kind of go from church to church to church to church and keep kind of, milking the chain.
Right.
It's going to be every church is going to say, we partner with Mark 12. We partner with Mark 12. And so if we're that entry point, we're also the point of where truth and love comes, And so that's what we're looking to do.
Once you're trying to supply resources like getting identification,
Yes,
Social
so all
security
that.
cards, driver's license, et
Yep.
cetera. Once a homeless person establishes those avenues of identity, do you know how many local businesses and such around here are willing to cooperate with you as far as providing jobs?
Yeah, we're building a network. We already have 6 facilities that are second chance employers that are not restaurants, because we're trying to get out of the mindset of, hey, go get a job at Gaddy's. I mean, I love Pat Doctor. He's done a tremendous work and hires a lot of them, but that's not sustainable income to actually get someone to out of homelessness. And so we've worked with a couple factories and a couple warehouses here that are second chance employers. They're more than willing and excited actually to partner with us once we have a pipeline, because that pipeline is not going to be just, hey, here's your Social Security card and your ID. Go get them, Tiger. You know what I mean? It's going to be, this is how you interview. This is how, you do these things. And so it's going to help them be productive citizens, not just, we helped you get some IDs and we're just going to, And again, those programs, so once someone comes into the center, if they are homeless, because we have a couple different programs, but they're just homeless, they've got nothing, they're going to start at the entry point. And then once they've got all their IDs, then they go into the Pathway Home program. The Pathway Home program is where they get a job. They learn how to get a bank account. We set up a bank account with them. They learn how to start writing their own checks. They learn how to balance their budget. They go through our finance program, and then ultimately get them into housing. If they don't want to be a part of that, that's when we have the conversation that we love you, but there's just nothing we can provide for someone who's just looking for a free place to stay.
Any other questions? All right, Perry, thank you.
Thank you all. God bless.
Joanne, you want to come up and touch on it? Give your name and who you're with and your address.
Okay, I'm Joanna Beckett. I'm the Executive Director at Bullitt County Housing First. I think Perry did a really good job of telling you what the need is. I just want to say that Housing First has been in this role now since 2018. We opened our center officially in 2019. In 2020, we helped, I think, 20 families. So far in 2021, we've helped 25 families. And we're only just a little bit more than halfway through the year. And that was as of the end of July. And we're seeing more and more families in trouble and facing homelessness with, the eviction thing. It's gonna happen. People are gonna start being evicted, and yes, I know, I agree, some of them own that because they were just irresponsible. But some of them legitimately couldn't help where they are. I worked with a senior citizen just last week who has always paid her bills, has never asked for help from anyone, but she got cancer. And her chemotherapy drugs were $1,200 a month. And so to pay those and stay alive, she couldn't pay her rent. So we had to be there to be a safety net for her and help her. And there's more and more and more people like that we're seeing, you know, senior citizens that are facing, I can't live in my home anymore because I can't afford it. And where can I go? And how can I even think about packing up my belongings and moving somewhere else? I mean, it's a huge problem that is touching more and more and more people. And we have to be prepared to how we're gonna respond to that. Housing First is limited in our facility and how many women we can help at a time. And so it's what Perry's doing is a needed and a very important thing. And so I join him in asking, you know, if the funds are available through the ARP, can we consider diverting some funds into homelessness and homelessness prevention? And instead of reinventing the wheel, let's work with people who are already in the game, and we've already, you know, we know what people are going through, we know the questions to ask, we know how to kind of tell which ones really need help and which ones just don't want to pay their utilities, so they're going to ask me to pay them for them. So rather than reinvent all of that stuff, let's work together, because I know that you all sitting there want the best for Shepherdsville, and that is what we want. We want the best for Shepherdsville. We want the children of homeless parents to be able to get good educations, to be warm and well-fed when they go to school and they're ready to learn. We want to remove all the barriers we possibly can remove from their lives so that they can succeed and we can break the generational curse of poverty. And we, you know, as Perry does, we do a lot of casework with each individual person. We do wraparound services, we train them and give them all the skills that they need so that when they leave our program, they know they never have to face homelessness again. They have the skills that they need. And so that is our ask today, just that you would consider any funds that are available for this, for homelessness and homelessness prevention, that we could find a way to work together and make that happen.
I have a question.
Okay?
Are you going to be partnering in with their group, or are you two separate groups both asking for help?
We are two separate groups, but we do partner together a lot. I mean, we have two separate boards, but we work together quite extensively, and we work with Volunteers of America and anybody else who's in the game. We're always calling each other and trying to, if I can't help someone, Perry, can you help? Or Jenny down at Turnaround, who can help this person? So nobody's falling through the cracks.
Okay.
Who all is on that board?
For
The
Housing First, Dr. Randy Pace is the chairman of the board, and Jackie Hall, and Joe Bohannon, Sarah McDade, Christy Walls, and Bruce Johnson. And Erica Price from Metro United Way is an advisor to the board.
And how many people do you all house at Housing First? How many beds are there?
Right now, we can have 2 families with children, or we can have 4 single women at a time. When we do the renovations on the first floor of our building, we'll be able to have 8 more people, or however that works out, whether it's all singles or women and children.
Is the building in Salt River?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I got.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, Joanne.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Darren, you have anything? All right, Arthur, you have anything?
2 quick items.
Did you pass something out to?
Yes.
Yes, sir. First off, just want to go ahead and let everybody know the good news. We got all easements signed for Arrowhead Pump Station Access Drive. Notice to proceed was signed off on by the mayor today. On-site pre-construction meeting will be September the 2nd. We'll meet on-site with the contractor, make sure everybody's on the same page, everybody's good to go, turn dirt. So, that's the good news. More good news. Core 5 is building another giant building down at the intersection of Highway 245 and 61. With that comes the sanitary sewer surcharge of $2,500 per acre. And so they're assessed $2,500 per acre to the 60.25 acres they are developing. The packet I passed out to you guys is a recapture fee to allow them, instead of paying all of that upfront in cash, to do some services in kind. One of those is allowing us to have capacity in that sewer line. That sewer line that's gonna be serving their property, it only has to be 8 inches per code and per what they're gonna be discharging. 8 inches is the minimum size that we allow to be installed. However, we do want more additional capacity in that line as a city, because we're gonna be servicing those 99 homes on south on 61, as well as any other developments on that way. So you'll see in the packet, there's a differential in what it would have costed them to put in an 8-inch line versus a 12-inch line. And I'm asking the council if they would allow for that deduct from the sewer fees. And then as well as, while they're there and they're paving a giant parking lot right next door, we have a pump station immediately adjacent, Barstown Pump Station, that they're gonna be running a line over to connect in. While they're there and doing all the paving on their parking lot, great opportunity for us to take advantage of a cheaper rate and have them pave that driveway to that pump station as well. So those numbers are in that packet, and want to share those with you guys for the pleasure of the council.
Okay, we see what the costs are gonna be. Explain to me again, you're wanting us to do what now?
So instead of them paying the full $153,000 straight up front, I'm asking to deduct the cost of that 8 to 12-inch differential and the cost of that pavement. And so instead of them cutting us a check, they'll do some services in lieu of a fee.
So they would end up paying us 66,000 instead?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's not costing us anymore, not them anymore?
Correct.
And we've done that 8-inch to 12-inch differential, we've all done that before.
Right, and
Right.
so when will they pay the 66 though?
I think they're prepared to pay that whenever you guys are ready.
Okay.
That's 66,
We're ready.
42. More money.
Sounds
Gotta
good.
go in the sewer budget with it.
At what point will this be completed?
Mike's got
We
the
do
deposit
this?
ready already.
That's
He's
right.
got the stuff
Great
filled out.
question. It'll be in this construction season, so before the end of the year.
Before the end of December?
Yeah.
Make a motion to accept that.
I'll second.
Okay, that's, Tammy's, got anybody, okay, all in favor? Three over there, three. Okay, thank you, Arthur.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, I got a question,
Yes,
Arthur.
yes, go ahead.
On the easements for those adjoining property owners, did we pay them
Yes.
are we giving them anything?
For Arrowhead Pump Station? Yes, ma'am. Chris
All of them?
Langford.
Well, I know
no.
we already paid Chris Lang for 5,000.
Correct, that's 5,000. And then Larry Gerald's and Veronica, 1,500, and Barbara Losi, 0.
Is she giving us access to her property?
Yeah, it's the same access that we currently have. We just kind of jockeyed around the edge there. And
Okay.
we do have in the language of that agreement that we'll be maintaining that hillside, which was her main concern, making sure that the property was manicured.
And you have been.
Right, we have been, but we put it in paper, like black and white, just to make her feel comfortable. We would continue to do so.
Well, for the record, I talked to Mr. Gerald's and they're happy with the way whoever's mowing, I don't know, Tom, if y'all, whoever's mowing it, doing a great job. So you can let them know that.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Arthur. Okay, hey, Captain, you got anything for the fire department? Okay. Darren, you got anything for the police department? Okay. Still didn't? Okay. All right, we'll go with, who wants to go first? Bonnie, wanna go first?
I can.
Okay, cool.
I need to see Darren afterwards for a question on police department. I have a question about what we need to do. I thought we had to settle with the budget that we were supposed to give all the employees $1 more, and I heard rumor that they're not getting it now.
Yeah,
So why are they not getting it?
they are getting it. She did payroll today. She, added everybody's, it's going back to July
July
first, but,
1st.
she couldn't get everything done by last payroll, so she got everything done by this payroll. She worked on it all day long today, so everybody's raise of $1 is in
Okay.
Yeah,
now.
thanks for
Okay.
asking. Yeah, we're good.
Also, have a question on, we have in the old handbook, that the people who are acting foremen should get $1 more on the hour. And so there was some employees that were supposed to get this, and now they're told that they're not getting it because, well, they're not gonna fill that position, but we're still operating under the first handbook. And that position is still here. We haven't taken it out. We talked about the sewer supervisor. We have not taken that position out. These people they're doing stuff and they're not getting paid for it. So we need to figure out how we correct that, because it is in the handbook that they get it and they've not been getting it.
And it's a classification ordinance.
Yes, it's in there.
Acting foreman for public works and sewer wastewater departments, pay will be $1 per hour while foreman is out
While-
sick
while
or on
they're doing it.
vacation, not a permanent pay.
Right, it's not permanent, so whenever,
When they're filling
like if
in,
they
that's
go on
fine.
vacation and they come back, then they don't get that $1 anymore.
But that's not happening?
It's
The other 3% is not happening?
not in sewer, it's not.
in sewer.
Correct. It was taken out of our time clock plus as an option, it's taken away from the department, so I can't give it to them, it's not in there.
Well, we need to correct that.
Oh, yeah, we'll
because
see
it's-
if,
It's in here and we have to follow what it says.
So is that also for your department also, Tom?
It is in my department, and it is effective next week.
It is effective, is that
Yeah.
what you said? Okay.
Yeah, his does get paid.
Yeah, we'll check with,
weird.
whoever,
So
I
Time
know,
Clock
that's weird. We'll
works
check
for one
with
of
the
them?
person on Time Clock Plus our
Well,
go-to. Can
We
you
just
make
need
an
to
okay
set
on
it,
that?
we just need to put it in place.
yeah, we just need for those people.
Yeah,
to
we'll
get
check.
paid.
In the ordinance, we have to.
Right, it's in place in the ordinance, so it has
Yeah,
to
we
be
just
paid.
need to, well, there's a problem with they're punching in and out, so we'll fix it that way.
So will it have to be retro to anyone that has served
Yes,
that
should be.
position?
it should be,
It
yes.
should be.
So will you have to pull all their time clock plus information to get that?
How long has this been a problem for them, do we know?
How long,
You say forever?
how long's,
It was just in there for a little while, and then, it's gone.
Well, since
That's
the job
amazing.
classification ordinance was passed, it would go back that far, which that was 2019.
Yeah,
19.
2019.
19, so at least it's not real far. But it
we're gonna
needs,
have to figure out who was the acting,
Yeah, they can
Exactly,
find
who
out.
was
I don't know
acting?
who was acting.
I just make,
Well,
I would just
Chuck
make,
retired in September of 19
Yeah, you should be able to go back to them.
right,
or 20, I'm not sure.
I think it was 20.
Yeah, September of 20.
During COVID, yeah.
but there
Yeah.
were times he might have been off too, so.
Yeah.
If you guys have any records, y'all need to get with, somebody,
yeah.
who, Tammy, or would it be Tanya?
Tanya and Gayla.
Tanya and Gayla,
I'll sit in.
she'll
Yeah.
sit in, but if you have records,
I guess whoever's license you were running on it, whatever time, that'd be the acting foreman, right?
I don't know how they designate the acting foreman.
How do you designate
How
it?
is the acting foreman designated?
Would it be designated by who you're running the plant's license off of?
No, not necessarily.
But at any given time, there is a designated acting foreman?
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
has to be.
That's when you do it.
It has to be for it, for
Right,
the
that's what
license and
I'm trying to
everything.
figure out.
Well, they should give it all 3 of us, just like we do now. Well, what's the difference?
We have 3 for them?
Well,
Because there's only 2, you can only have 2 acting foremen. Then why do you got 3 for the license?
Because they all have license, they have all the
Yeah, three
license,
licenses,
that's,
you only have, collections, and you're gonna have 2.
that's
You only have
different from the
collections.
foreman.
Yeah, it's different from being the foreman. Yeah. Okay,
But
yeah, we'll work on that.
We need to work on that so that
Well-
we can be fair.
can I, while you're on the subject,
Yeah.
can I bring up the $2? Because when I made that motion, I thought, Tammy, that $2 was for the treatment and collections.
She didn't budget it in collections, she only budgeted in treatment from
Well, she needs to fix that, because that's what I mean, did you all not think that?
Yeah,
That's how I drafted it.
It needs to be that way.
I took it that it was whoever had the license.
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
getting
No matter
the
what.
rights.
It was
Thank
three
you.
people.
It's
Did
three
y'all-
people has license.
Three
Yeah,
people.
three people.
All three of them?
Three
All
people
three
with
of
that
them.
certain training, so
Yes.
whoever has
I
that
mean,
certain
that's not
training.
right.
But if we're saying collections and treatment, we're still talking about three people.
Yes,
Yes.
that's
Okay.
correct.
It's still just three
Yeah,
people,
the
no matter
same
what.
three people that we named that night.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Right?
what was stated from the.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Is
still
that what
them
you,
two.
is
Yeah.
that what you all
But
thought?
again, not naming
Yeah.
individual names.
No,
just the
no.
holder of the
I'm just
license.
saying we need to make sure that Tanya knows this.
Yeah.
So then it needs to be collections and treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might wanna show her what you got, Tammy, if you said it was in there.
Yeah.
She looked at the ordinance today.
They can
Okay.
say whoever's in
Thanks,
collections
Thanks,
and
sorry.
treatment with
I
that
just
license.
figured while he brought up the $2, I'd jump in and.
Okay.
Um,
So we'll
Okay.
go back to 2019 on that, sorry, I need
You're fine.
clarification.
fine.
How far are we going back
To
for the
when,
acting foreman thing?
when Chuck left.
Chuck's retired, when Chuck left.
September.
retired,
September of
Did
29.
we have an acting foreman?
If you
Yeah.
have one.
If we have one.
Yeah.
That's the thing, was anybody named acting foreman?
That was my question.
Yeah.
How do we
Right.
It
fix
wasn't.
that?
You're right.
Well, I know Tom's got somebody set when he's not here.
Yeah, he's got a guy.
But I don't know how the sewer department has, what they've done.
And so this is a little bit of a different situation since it's not a vacation. It's, we had, if I'm understanding, we had a retirement and there's nobody has filled that spot on a permanent
Well,
basis yet.
there's supposed to be
One of them
intermin.
wants to say something.
Interim, there should, that's, I mean, we're gonna have to fix all
Yeah.
this, because we're gonna have to
Yeah,
get
it's
the
gonna be
language.
fixed.
We're gonna have to get the language down where,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, Darren, did you have something?
Labor law says you'll go back 2 years.
2 years?
Thank you. We're right at that anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go
All right.
ahead, Bonnie.
But you might be beating a dead horse, because at the end of the day, was there an acting foreman?
Yeah, who was it?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on whose opinion you ask.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, but
Well-
you know what opinions are.
Find out what's.
I got an opinion, but nobody cares.
We don't
This
care.
makes the question, how is it designated and will it be written, proved that someone was
That's,
designated?
that's it.
That was my.
We just may not agree with it.
That's right, that's right. That's a good
So,
one, Mike.
there you
Just
go.
give money.
Okay,
That's what I'm
Right,
saying.
exactly.
And what actually happened.
and one more thing.
So there isn't, there was not one, and there is not one currently.
Yeah, but that's-
Well, then there's nobody's gonna get paid, then if there's not one.
There isn't.
That's what I.
Nothing changed.
Yeah, that's
One
true.
of my
Kenny.
pet peeves.
Okay,
All
Bonnie,
right,
go ahead.
one more thing.
Okay.
Stacy and I got to go see the office where Arthur wants his offices at the other day, and I know that you all have been. A lot of good ideas put out there and everything. So the sooner we get some plans drawn up, we can get this going. I did apologize to Arthur. I found out from some people I talked to that the construction's a lot more expensive than I thought. So I did apologize.
Get that in writing.
He's got, just saying,
Is that work, is that recorder working?
On the video, isn't it?
I know, right? That's video.
If you're wrong, you're wrong, you know? I got something for you too.
Jesus.
But, it's gonna be a lot more money than I thought it was, so, and I talked to him also about, instead of doing drop ceiling for the new offices, to put an actual floor, which will cost more, but it'll provide more storage space above, since we're taking up that footprint of the building, at least then they could go up and put stuff up there that they need to store. But I think we're ready to get the plans made and go somewhere with it. That's all I had.
All right, thank you, Mike.
I just got a couple points of clarification, was, on the summary that you read on the ordinance, section, I guess, section 1. Now, does that apply to everyone that holds the certification, or just the one we are using?
No, everyone who holds.
Everyone who
the-
has it?
That, and again, that's
Okay.
what, I thought that's what the
Yeah.
motion was,
Right.
everyone, now it's
Okay.
3, and Sunday it's 5, and it's 5 people.
So it was $2 on everybody that has it,
Yeah.
an additional $1 on who's using it.
$2,
All right.
yes, $2 additional to whatever they have now.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I have a question too then. If if they going back to school just to get a 3, and they don't have 1 and 2, that's still.
They gotta have all
They
three.
have to have 1, 2, and 3.
I don't think they can get,
Don't you have to have 1 and 2 before you can get 3?
I think that they have done that before.
I'll go ahead and speak on this. This
Can
cost,
you speak up a little louder, the air conditioning's on us here, I'm sorry.
yeah.
if the school is in action, you get sent away for 4 days, per diem, schooling, lodging fees, and have to pay us while we're gone. Everything else, we save the city probably, I think, I can figure it out, it's about $6,000 by taking the highest one available to us. You can take a 1, you can take a 2, you can take a 3, or you can take a 3 and have all 3 certifications. You save a lot of money by taking the
So, yeah, so
It's-
three
So
starters,
One and two
technically,
are
once
rolled
you have
into
3,
three.
you already have 2 and 1, it's all combined.
1 and 2 rolls into it.
So it's a lot harder class.
Yeah, okay,
So if you got 3, then you've already,
Right,
1 and
yeah.
2 is built in.
okay, good, yeah, it's built into it, so 1 and 2, okay. Good idea, Mike, thank you.
And just the other thing on section 2, does all the vacation time start on January 1st of each year?
Yeah, that's what everybody wanted. I mean, that's what the vote was, yeah, January 1.
So just as an example, a new hire that's hired August 15th and won't be here for a year until August 15th of 2022 will be eligible to take vacation January 1st of 22.
Yes. And I know with the council, I feel like it's batted it around both
Yeah,
ways.
they
I think
put
that,
it the
I
other
feel like
way.
y'all
That's,
came down
that's the
with
way it should be.
January 1 was the most.
You don't make somebody wait a year and a half to get a
But are they
vacation.
gonna be
I didn't say a year and a half, but a year.
Yeah, they should be prorated.
If, for
Yep.
instance,
After they've been
But
here
that's not what
a
this
year,
says, so
that's
y'all
when
want
they
that.
run it.
I think they need to be prorated, I mean.
yeah, I mean,
Well, yeah, for,
instead of, if they come in August, that they're
shouldn't
not,
get
they
that
don't
whole year.
qualify for the
Right.
other 8 months. So if they decide to take a vacation in January and they've only been here since August, then they should only get from
That
August
time.
to December, that amount of time, and then they could take the time off but unpaid.
well, normally from August to January, you would be prorated. So if a 1-year employee is eligible for a week's vacation, from August to January, you'd be prorated days. Then January 1, you'd be in your 2nd calendar year, is the way that works anywhere that I've ever
Well,
heard.
you'd be in the 2nd calendar year, but you've only been here
Right,
5
exactly.
months.
I get that, but
Darren,
I think we're about to
that's
get
how
some
it works.
clarification.
I think we're gonna get some, Darren's
The way
gonna,
vacation time works is that once you hit 1 year, you get 40 hours, and then when you hit January, then you get where you are in the scale. So you have to serve with the city a year before you get vacation time. PTO time starts accumulating.
It's different, okay.
The PTO's different,
It's
right?
monthly.
It's monthly,
PTO's month.
yeah,
Right.
okay.
okay.
Thank you,
So I don't-
So
Darren.
somebody that started in August of this year, or say May,
Whatever.
they don't get any time until January of next year.
Of vacation time.
Right.
So they have to work a whole year and a half.
That's-
A year.
Yeah.
A year,
Because
1
he
year.
said
Well, you said they can't get it
that's
till
your
January.
year, and
1
then-
year, they get 40 hours.
Right.
So once they hit May of next year, then they can take
They'll get
vacation.
40 hours, and then in January, they start on the normal.
That's when it would start.
But in
That's
that
what's
January,
on.
they'll have
Yeah.
PTO
But they'll still
time.
get the PTO
Yeah, they'll
time.
have,
Right.
they'll
They
have
month.
That's the
August,
question
September,
Tanya
October.
was asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tanya,
She
I'll
asked
get her
yeah,
here tomorrow.
yeah.
So she thought she had to wait all the way till
I
January.
She
should.
did, okay. They can start taking
Of
PTO.
next
year.
Yeah, next year.
I just get her
Okay.
and Darren together.
So
Good
does
thing
that,
it's recorded, isn't it?
so does that,
Yes.
Got something
does
else
that
on
need
it.
to be amended before the next reading?
Sorry?
Does that need to be amended before the change, before the next reading?
Yeah, I'll clarify.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, Rocky.
Your probationary period also restricts that. You
Right.
have to be here for an entire year before you can use any kind of PTO or vacation.
Oh, okay.
That's on us, I think the police and fire is different, as for our end, it's 1 year.
That part's being fixed.
That's
Yeah, that's gonna be
crazy.
fixed in the new policy, I remember that,
You
yeah.
know, probationary period for a year, that's.
And we're real
That's-
close.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that's terrible, can't even take 1 day off, yeah, that's,
Saying nobody has a year probationary period.
yeah.
I mean, if you're moving from department to department, you already know how that employee is, why would you
Well,
put
I
them
mean,
on?
no company
You're gonna get
has
another
a
year.
probationary
I
period
think that's wrong.
That needs to be fixed.
That's
We'll fix
wrong.
that, right, Darren?
It's already worded that way.
Okay.
So
It's gonna be fixed in the policy.
we're gonna change this section 2 then to your vacation time. You'll get 40 hours on your first anniversary date, then you will accrue as of January 1 of the following.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, Mike, anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay, Stacy?
Since we're touching on the raises, this is across the board for everybody. When I brought that up at the workshop, the budget workshop to Tanya about the consulting firm, and she said that she would be working on it in September, but I think the council needs to look at hiring a consulting firm to go ahead and evaluate that, because Tanya's not gonna have the time to do it.
Actually, Tony and I have a meeting with one on Friday,
Okay.
a Zoom meeting, just to get some details.
Okay, that sounds
Okay.
good.
Will you let me know?
Yes, ma'am.
Or let the council know, not just
Yes,
me?
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
And then, I got a call, I don't know, as far as I understand, on trash service, if we've got a contract with trash company, we can't let anybody that lives in the city use Waste Management, Ecotech, or any of that.
Correct.
Correct.
Well, do you know that's happening? That's
It is.
going on?
Well, I know that whenever he sees someone, he emailed me today and said, have code enforcement go to, and I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
we're,
violation.
it's fair out,
Yeah.
but we're,
I think there's a
Ray's
fine involved
fixing
with
it.
it too.
And tell them
Yeah.
that, they have to use, Republic instead of Waste, because they were using Waste.
Yeah, but
So
I mean, they
he
probably
should-
done signed a contract, cause they dump their trash,
It don't matter, that company,
have to come and
the
get it.
company's in violation, cause they have to know
And
the
Waste-
contract too.
And they know, they know we have the
Most of them are
contract.
supposed to be here.
yeah, them other companies know it too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever,
Yeah,
so
can
I
they
have
get
that
it
sometimes, and
processed?
Ray gets on them and they do
Yeah.
comply.
Yeah, so if we see that going on, do
If
we
you see, you
just
can
call
call.
Ray and
Yeah,
tell
call
him?
Ray,
Call Ray,
yes,
yeah.
please, if you would. Yeah, council members, if y'all see that or hear about that, you call Ray and he'll get right on it, so I appreciate it.
We'll make a commercial of that. Just call Ray.
Just call Ray.
Just call Ray.
That's all I got.
Okay, Kim.
I have one thing, and I'm not sure how to go about it, but I would like make a motion that we bring back a beautification committee. Lisa and I worked on the medians up on 44 by 65, cleaning up trash, and we weeded, and manually weeded,
I
and
saw you.
weeded, and, we had a lot of people who stopped and thanked us for doing it, and it looks so much, the only thing we didn't do was cigarette butts, and that's just, you can't pick up all them cigarette butts.
Right.
But I think we need to have something like that so that we can take care of issues like that.
Okay. All right, I'll send an email out to you
Okay.
and try to get it revived.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
That would be nice. I'd like to see us grow grass with trees down through there
Yeah,
instead of
it would look
concrete.
so much, yeah.
It
Well,
would
I'd like
look-
to see them taken out for those lane.
Well, we get those lanes taken out
I mean, 'cause
first.
there was
Oh,
so
okay.
much garbage,
I think we emptied,
I was amazed at the
I think we
garbage.
emptied 3
Oh.
garbage cans that
So-
day.
Oh, yeah, it was something else. But people
Oh.
were, some would stop and say, thank you for doing this, and just, the people were, I've had people stop me and tell us how bad
Did you ask them to get out and help?
I did have one gentleman to say, you missed a spot back
Yeah,
here, and I
exactly,
said,
yeah.
well, come back and help.
It's definitely not perfect, but it definitely looks a
Best
lot
way to
better.
show gratitude is helping, right?
You're right, you're right.
Well, Deb, are you okay? You asked about a motion, but, I'm good with that, so is that okay? I agree with the beautification committee. We'll get it.
I'll second her motion.
Okay, well, go ahead, yeah, second.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor to have a beautification committee? 6-0, good, okay.
Why don't you just make Deb head of it while you're at it?
Yeah,
I'll be on it.
Chairwoman.
Deb, you'll be the chairwoman. Yep.
Chairwoman.
We'll get somebody on,
Yeah, and you can hand it to 2
Yeah.
other council.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I'll talk to y'all and we'll figure out who wants to do what.
All right, Kenny?
Tom, I did have one thing. I had a lady stop me at the farmer's market, this past weekend, wanting to know if we were picking up any trash along Blue Lick Road. She said Blue Lick Road.
Yeah, it's nasty.
She said she had like all kinds of,
It's nasty.
she just moved in there, and she said she's picked up bags and bags of trash. I didn't know if we go down through there or
Dangerous
not.
road.
It's
That's
probably
a state road.
Once a year, we go through and pick
But
up
he-
Blue Lake,
he does.
61, and
Okay.
44.
Yeah, Blue
Okay.
Lick's horrible.
Yeah, she
Especially
said
when
it
it
was-
rains, you can see all the.
Nasty.
She
yeah.
said that,
It's
I
nasty.
can't remember how many whiskey bottles she
Yeah.
said she found in
I
her
know.
house. It was
Yeah.
like 72 or something like
Yeah.
that. It was a crazy amount.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Woo.
They just chuck them out the window, I
Yeah.
guess, so.
Yeah, it's nasty.
I mean, I was coming down Conestoga and watched somebody throw 2 bags out, trash out the other day, Sunday, just throw the whole bag out of trash.
Out the window, when they're
Out the
driving.
window.
That's terrible.
Huh? Well, I looked at them, hey, I wouldn't have jumped on that for nothing, they were scary looking. Hey, I was like, go ahead, drop your trash.
Yeah, I don't see nothing.
I was too, I'm telling you, it was a little sketchy. Yeah.
Okay, Lisa, you got anything?
I do a repeat of last meeting, the CSX railroad crossing.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
we ever get any contact out of those folks?
I haven't received any response, I'll just put it that way.
And don't hold your breath on
Don't
that
hold your
either.
breath.
Well, you know,
Federal.
were we not told, did we not pay those folks $13,000 a year? I mean, that comes out of the budget. They're supposed to maintain those tracks there. I mean, it's disgraceful.
Yeah,
Not to mention it's tearing up people's cars.
It tears people's cars up, yeah, and people almost getting hit.
I'll
I
try
mean,
again tomorrow.
to be
I
honest,
mean, could we have you write a letter to them?
I doubt I'll get much better response than January, but I will definitely
But I
do it.
will,
I mean,
I'll reach out to the guy.
email, a letter to
Yeah.
them, I mean, it was supposed to be done in the spring, we are in midsummer now.
The spring or something that he was gonna get, no, he
I
wouldn't
was gonna say,
he wouldn't commit.
this is not the second time we've tried to get a hold of them to do
No,
something.
no, it's not.
No, I'm saying in the past, years in the past.
Right.
Like a lot of years back.
And as Bonnie was mentioning, the expansion over at the sewer department, Mike, Deb, and I did go over there. Were you talking about in the, I'm just gonna hold this up, I know you probably can't see it, the offices were on this side.
Yeah.
And then,
And go across the
across the front.
Yeah.
We had discussed, maybe having a room upstairs, building that ceiling heavy duty to where there could be, maybe a training facility room up there and a break area for the guys, to where it's not
That
have
works
to be.
too.
where it doesn't- Cause it wouldn't have to be handicap accessible for the employees.
But if they wanted to pull their trucks in there, is that gonna work, Arthur? I'm just saying, cause I thought that's something that we talked about, when we were over there.
Equipment out of the weather.
I'm just saying, like, if they wanna,
Well, there's also, on the side of the building, there's also a big area that if we have to have it out of the weather, we can put like an
A lean-to.
or something. It would take it out. And it would still be cheaper than the $1 million.
Right, well, he talked about wanting to add on to the end of the building.
Right.
To extend
Yes.
the garage part, which
Yeah, he
would
talked to
save
us about
money
that
that
too.
way,
Yes.
doing that, which is fine. But if you're gonna do 2 floors, then it's gonna be more for the air conditioning, and I'd have a bigger unit to be able to do that many square feet again.
You would have to have probably 2 units, one for the
Yeah.
lower and one for the upper.
Or dual
but-
zone.
Yeah. And the other question I had, Darren, I know this isn't yours, it is sort of yours, but it isn't. There are a lot of vehicles, trailers, junk, a Harley motorcycle that's sitting in the sewer plant over there. I'm not for sure how long it's been there. Someone said it's been there for years. Do you all have any type of idea when you guys are gonna get rid of that?
That mess.
That, I know it's from,
Some of that, possibly, but some of it is also, we need to wait on the judge's trial.
so,
It's connected to a criminal
Crime.
act investigated.
Right.
And the case has been
Could still be
adjudicated,
under,
but
yeah.
there is possibility of an appeal. We're not clear on it. So, some of it, yes, we can get rid of it, some of it, no, we can't.
Well, that's what
so,
we want to get rid
so
of,
can
is
we
some of
maybe get a list of some of that that's over there, to what could be gotten rid of? Because it is it looks like a junkyard over there.
that's what it was.
I mean,
That's what it looks like again.
but, yeah,
Yes, I will work on that.
but it is an eyesore, so, but yeah, I mean, that Harley could bring some good money if we could sell that here in the city.
Well, is that Harley that's back in the back? I saw Darren riding on it the other day.
That white one?
Wearing his chaps.
I don't know, it had quite a bit of dust on the one I seen.
Too much
But
That
yeah,
is-
if you can maybe get a list of what could go, cause that would be nice to see some of that.
Well, we've been working on some of it. I've had one guy that, some of the stuff was his, he still has 2 items to pick up there. He's been a federal person and now he's out. So he's been getting some of the items out of there. But I'll have a list of, I'll get a detailed list of what's still evidentiary and what we have court orders to get rid of and what we can figure out.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and then.
Mayor, Curtis,
Yes,
I had a
go ahead.
couple real quick things
Yeah.
I forgot about. One is, where are we at on our audits? We've got one that,
Yeah.
we got one that's not done at all, that should be, and a second one we can't start until the first one's done. So I don't know what are,
We've got Bob in getting ready for that one, for the
What are-
second one.
for the second,
currently
okay?
working
Grabbing,
on the second
getting
one.
some of the information together. I think Tanya's got everything to the one they're working on now, but I didn't hear of it. Didn't hear an update today
On the first one.
on the first
Yeah,
one.
the first
So I mean, do they still need information, or?
They did,
Yeah.
well, I don't think they do now. I think Tanya got them everything that they needed, so I'm not, I'll make contact tomorrow with them and I will send you guys an email and let you know what
The
they tell
last-
me.
In the last meeting we had, she said that she thought there was only one more thing they were asking for.
A lot of this stuff we just plain don't have. We don't have it. It's not here.
I wonder where it's at.
I don't know, but it's not here. And they don't, we have looked and asked, and credit card receipts, that's the main thing,
Did
credit
we,
card receipts.
did we
They
ever
want-
get that laptop?
I got one.
Does she have the laptop, the other laptop, or is it in our possession?
Yeah, we
Scott
got,
said something about she had a tablet, but I don't know anything about a tablet. That was before I came back, so
So,
there's a tablet hanging on the wall in there, but he says that's not it.
yeah, we
I
got,
thought
she
we did
had a
too.
laptop, but there was a
Scott
limit,
still
she
says
might have
he
used the
insists that
personal.
we have a tablet that's gone missing, so I
I
don't
think
know.
it's
So-
that, I think it's that tablet on the wall back there.
I think so too, but
But,
Scott was still.
but we sent the official letter to her.
Yeah.
And she said-
that we've got to go back after that.
are you finished?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay, you go right ahead then.
Okay, thank you. Second thing is the Edmunds software that I understood, the first round was in the neighborhood of 100,000 for that software. And my understanding is we don't have any of it, it's already paid for, and we're not using it. Plus, they
Well-
added approximately another 40,000, I think it was a little less than that, for some additional software that I understand we don't have and aren't using and may not use.
Some of them we may not, but
Yeah.
Tanya has talked to them, about, honestly, I don't know about, we've gotta set up training, we've got a new girl starting Monday, she'll be instrumental in learning the software, so hopefully, I mean, I can't say when, but I know she's been in contact with them, so she can bring herself up to speed, then she can,
I think she has a date. She told me in the office that she does have a date for.
and I
this
haven't
all
talked to her
done.
about it either, so.
She has a date real soon.
I was gonna say,
But
were
yes,
we
we
just
do need
waiting
to
on
get on
them
it.
to train us, or do
Yeah,
they
waiting on
still
them.
need to get
Yeah.
some information?
Yeah, it's waiting on them to train us.
Yeah.
Tell them, come on.
We ready?
You know, it just seems kind of odd, all that money that was spent on these resources,
Right.
we're not even using them.
Yeah.
And it was
I agree.
supposed to solve,
Problems.
according to, I think, Stephanie, at the time, it was almost to give us
Relief.
instant access, real-time access.
Yeah, real time.
As it would the
And
department
they do
heads.
that when it gets here, but that was nowhere near being done. That was nowhere near being implemented because.
Well, I know
it
it's not
wasn't-
been implemented.
But it will do that when we get there.
Yeah, it seemed like playing catch up, but, like I said, she has a date. Lisa, you got something?
I do. It was the first I've heard about the credit cards not being able to obtain any of the credit card statements. Is that a Lowe's credit card, a Visa Master credit card?
When you're saying receipts, though, you mean the actual receipt where an employee used the card, but not the monthly statement? Surely we've got access to that.
No,
Monthly
we
statement.
don't,
We
because
don't
the
have
accounts
access to-
were closed. We can't get monthly statements to a closed account, they say. But this goes back to last year's last year's audit, okay? When, I can't tell you what happened to him, I wasn't here, but I won't say they're gone. They're not to be found on this premise.
So how much money are we talking?
That's my
The
question.
money's, the cards have been paid, okay? The bill has been paid, we just can't, we owe nothing on them, but we can't find the receipts to give to the auditor so he can go back and check. That's what they,
To match it up to the
they
charge,
pull,
make sure it was
and then
sitting.
they go back and reconcile.
Right,
We can't
with
pull
each
those.
credit card or receipt.
We're not overdue or overdrawn or
Well,
over nothing.
I understand that. I mean, I'm sure they got paid, but there was money spent on those accounts that is unaccounted for, but yet the taxpaying citizens have paid those bills.
So,
I mean, I don't understand why the city cannot pay the previous company, even if it's closed. They have to have those on file. I mean, there should be a breakdown. I mean,
they
because
should
I
be able to give
believe
you
there was,
guys.
I believe in the financial
unless her
statements.
name was the only one on it.
Do we know who closed the account?
Bingo.
Her name was the only one on it.
Well, then
That's the problem.
That's gonna take a letter from
Then that totally
Tammy
needs
then.
to be investigated.
These cards are, her name was on one and then the department head was on the other. You use this card to charge what you're after, and you use this card to pay for what's on this card. Don't ask me how it's set up. Don't ask me why it
Well,
was
maybe
set
we
up
need to
that
send
way.
her a letter.
It was
So-
you have a payable card to pay your credit card, and the payable card was in
Well,
her.
that was,
That's illegal.
that was
That's
at
so wrong.
That's
ACH.
not
Well,
right.
they're still doing it that way, but Tanya's got it straightened out enough to where
That shouldn't
she
be right.
understands exactly what's going on, because she's been on the phone with them probably for a week now.
And
So-
Tanya's right in the middle.
So are
of
we
it.
talking about a local bank, like West Banco
Uh-huh.
credit card? And they cannot physically go back
No,
and,
West Banco, who was it? It's not West Banco
Oh.
that issues the cards, they go through,
Like
they
Chase
just
or
use their names on them.
Synchrony or something.
It's Citibank or Citibank or something.
Synchrony's
City
part of
card.
it.
I'm sorry, but there, she did in the financials at one point ask for, reconciled,
Reconciliation.
yeah. And there was a charge of $1,800 and some that they charged for whatever she wanted. Yeah, there, it's on our financials.
all right, I will, let me get a hold of Sherry
So-
tomorrow, because,
That's why you don't have just one person on that account.
and we don't anymore.
We don't have.
I mean, there have been thousands of
It's going
dollars.
through 3 or 4 hands now before it gets
Yeah.
billed, and it doesn't get paid unless we have a receipt.
Sure,
Right.
sure.
But
Well, and
Okay.
that's why she gets so upset when he asked her questions.
it just wasn't, it just didn't, I don't know.
It's not your fault, don't worry.
Yeah, it's not your fault. And it's not Tanya's fault.
No.
No, it's definitely not Tanya's fault.
Tanya just got into a mess.
Oh, and one thing that.
But if that tablet's missing, the city needs to send her a letter.
Well, we'll meet about that too.
That
I know
tab-
we did send a letter
that
out.
tablet's missing.
At
That's
least
not
I'll
her,
call them tomorrow.
that's
or
not her
Tammy and I will
tablet.
call them tomorrow and see if we can get the records dating back to
Who you what?
whatever.
No, we'll see receipts.
I'll get the police department involved, that's what I'll do. You ought to
even
be
if it's
involved.
over a certain amount.
Don't run, Terry.
Yeah.
Don't run, Terry.
Missing receipts is not a crime, if we don't have any evidence of fraudulent use or.
Well, how do we know it's not?
It's not a crime.
Well, that's why we need to get those receipts, and there are ways, they can have paper trails.
Well, if there's fraudulent use, the audit should tell us that, and then.
Yeah, we'll
check it out.
Yeah,
We'll get together, Tammy, and we'll figure something out, and we will get it straightened out. That's one of the main holdups of the audit.
Well, I get it.
Receipts that we can't supply, and I don't know what they're doing
And if
about
I'm
it.
not mistaken, she said in the open meeting that she needed receipts.
Within
So-
3 or 5
She
days.
paid them without it. Or she
Imagine
paid the-
that.
She paid the invoice
knew it, I knew it.
All right, well, let's move on.
Okay, I have one thing to
We'll work on
add.
that tomorrow.
Oh,
Simple.
God.
I'll try my best to get what we need.
Well,
but
I mean,
I hope the audit will be done before then, though.
Yeah, we need them to come ASAP. Okay.
Okay.
I'll call them tomorrow as well.
I have one thing, Mayor, if you don't mind. We have a special meeting Friday for the policy committee. I'm just gonna say it, general policy committee, because we're gonna probably talk about all the policies, but we do have one Friday at 6:30. For the ones that,
Do what?
Well, you don't have to be here if you're.
you don't have to be here if you can't, but
Just
all the
email.
people that responded to me, there were so many that said Friday, so that's why I went with Friday.
There's a long email exchange about
Yeah.
multiple days. And I was going to do it Friday, but we had talked about maybe letting the employees choose whether they want to come back Friday at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the employees can email, questions you have or concerns before
Yes.
before the 27th.
I'll have to let you know if I can be there, I don't know.
I don't think
Well,
I'll
if a
be able to
bunch of
make it.
employees aren't, I don't know, we might need to get a head count though, if it's only gonna be me and Laura sitting at a table, maybe
Well,
it's not productive.
We have
it
our
to
church
Tuesday.
picnic and I'm supposed to be
I'm
working
not
that
gonna be able to
night.
make it either.
Oh, yeah.
So we probably won't have.
What about next Monday?
We have a meeting.
Bonnie can't do it.
No, we have a meeting?
Oh, go, wait a meeting. Never mind, Bonnie, I'm sorry.
Go home.
Okay, I'm going.
And it's a fifth,
Got-
that's a fifth Monday, so I actually could do that.
Okay.
We have a
I
meeting
can do that.
All right, well, just, Arthur, is next Monday okay?
Monday.
All right,
Okay, me too. So-
well, we'll
All right.
change it to next Monday, and Tammy, will you let Pioneer News know, please?
Yes, I will.
Okay, so it'll be Monday the
Bless you.
30th at 6:30, right, Bonnie?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you, thank
Okay,
you.
we'll send the email out to the other.
I'll send the email to all the department heads and Tom.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
policy
Yeah.
committee. That's all you gotta tell him.
Okay, is that it?
Policy committee.
Okay, motion to adjourn? Kenny first, Lisa second. All in favor? Carry 6-0.
Thanks, Molly, for changing that.
We'll see you at the
You're welcome.
meeting.
I didn't mind when it would be.
Next special meeting, 27th.
That helps me
Just
out.
wanna get her done.
That helps me a lot.
Oh,
'Cause I
It's
gotta
all
go-
about you.
Damn skinny. Oh,
I have her, but I won't say it.
No, don't say it yet, because we're still being streamed.
Say it for somebody who cares.
I heard the board meeting is quite festive.
Tonight? I wanted to
Oh,
go,
I
but
I know, I got a text message.
I bet it was.
I got a text message and said they took it off.
Hey,
Made
that's
it
good.
turn the live
Hey,
stream off.
you protected the citizens' constitutional rights, that ain't you.
Well, they have cover now. Yeah, I got a text message. Oh, thank you. I got a text message saying they had to turn the live stream off.
Well, they have cover now, though, the state Board of Education.
I don't even
did
know
it,
what's
Bashir
going on.
did it. I don't know, is it still about the mask?
I guess, but I don't even know.
I can't believe they're still in school. Harry had COVID exposure, he can't go back to school until next Monday. I'm like, why are we not on NTI if that's how we're gonna do it?
Exactly.
So dumb. And after everything we went through with NTI, they're not putting anything online for him to do. I'm like, what in the, what's the teachers got? Are they going back to NTI? They need to, just like she said. That's why I said they need to. Little Harry, he's at Little Leg, he's got COVID exposure, he can't go back to school for a week.
Just enjoying all this.
I hope you're, I'm glad, because I can't keep up.
Yeah.
shows anything? Back there, but I think because it's supposed to be scanning stuff in that, that's very important. I can't find it. I'm looking her, I'm looking her phone. Her computer that she used when she was here, her laptop that she used when she was at home.
That's Mount area, so I know you're all having a lot of problems.
You know, and she did, that's another thing. She had no security cards on all of it.
The other stuff is you don't pay, but it's time.
Yes.
And there's no harm.
Right.
Good thing is, you're really good on getting her credit.
I live in a dead
To
end.
pay it.
To pay.
Yes, sir.
But they have been through my yard.
No, I don't think anybody knew it until I got here.
Chase
So
them
this
tonight.
credit card.
I think they came through my yard tonight. I didn't catch them
Well,
on.
we don't pay anything for very expensive stuff.
I heard there was
Even
a lot of
though that's.
And my dogs heard it, because they woke me
When we
up.
first got into legislature, there were, I can't even tell you how many accounts were set up on our pay. And all that means is, okay, I'm paying your bill, I'm taking your money. Do they tell you, do they don't? How do you, if they don't, do you keep a record on it? I mean, how do you reconcile a bank account if you don't know when or what's coming out? Exactly.
Trying to keep
We've got so many.
Anything I've ever set up, that I know, that means we're from, anything that I've ever set up, it says it's
Well, they just took it in.
delicately as they could.
You don't have to receipt to show.
they take what you tell them they can take.
Well, that's true. If your bill says it's $3,000, then my bill's still $3,000,
Well,
I'm not paying
some
you
cities in the,
$3,000. It got a
the
little,
zoning, it hasn't kind of.
got a little crazy.
They come and tell me, everybody's.
We've had,
Give them contracts instead of a
See, but
plan.
I've been saying no.
I didn't,
It's just like that subdivision, they talk about that 99 years ago.
and I hate to say that,
So you're gonna
when I
have to
got
go
back,
send more officers out
when
there.
I got back what I asked her to get back,
Yes, but it's.
I mean, and I know there were piles and piles of it that she
Right.
I got back this
But
big
they're
of a
being
pile,
right next to all
and
these.
it was
Well, it's further down.
2017.
Is it further?
Yeah,
I haven't
it's-
seen the actual spot.
Yeah, it's probably.
Records, time
Don't
sheets.
quote me,
Like,
but
what in the
I don't know
world is this
if
gonna,
that-
why does
it's
she
just
have
the
this?
guys that are
We were in
developing that.
quarantine in 2017.
I think they were building, I don't agree with you, they're, guys
Art.
are
I
building.
mean, I've been as much as I can
Where
get
I used to live.
where it is. Tanya's, I mean, she's even going further than I have.
Yeah, they're nice looking houses.
Hopefully,
They do a great job.
this will never happen again. I just wish
Josh, you
that.
build.
Well, not the next year.
Josh, Josh is getting rid of this.
You understand?
But they're just good old boys, they're nice guys.
Yeah.
And so now, they're the ones that built those apartments down West Shannon, which was a good spot to put those apartments, actually.
Yes, that is a good spot for apartments,
But they're
if
the
we
ones-
could fix
they're-
the flooding there.
Right, but they're the ones that built those.
Yeah.
And they're good people. And, you know, so don't quote me, but, and I wanna say it's at least a quarter or a half a mile further down.
Okay.
So it's not right on top of that, that stuff. And then what's in between it is all pretty much residential, so that's fine.
Yeah.
So you do have kind of a buffer.
Right, because if you keep putting more warehouses or when we call the homes to supply the people or the
Right.
warehouses.
Oh, I agree.
And I don't wanna keep sticking major apartments right here in the middle of Sharpsville.
Right.
Because the traffic here is bad enough. If they wanna build south for apartments, then that's great, but not here.
Well, unfortunately, they gotta go with land is,
Yeah, but there's some land that they
where
would
where
probably.
it's zoned.
Right.
So the problem that, I know that they're having, because there's another area that they were telling me when I was buying a house in Spencer County. He goes, man, I'd love to do some more over here, because that farmer really loves his land. And he said, his son, because even when he dies, he goes, I think his son yours. He goes, so, he goes, that'll probably stay farming land forever. And I looked at him and smiled and I said,
Well, my dad's farm, he had it made to the Greenland Society for 100 years. It can never be changed except for what it is right now.
think, they're also looking at, if I remember